Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here with our message for the week, answering one of your questions. And we're going to get started pretty quickly here on that question, but I just wanted to give a few minutes here for people who would like to come on live. I always like to see you live, so that's wonderful. And just tell you a couple of things up front. What we do here on this channel is you write in the questions. We ask that you keep them of a general nature. Private questions for your life, please contact me privately. All that information is below. And then what we do is I sit down and I write out the answers that my spirit guide, Phillip, gives to me. That answers the questions that you send in. And these questions, again, are of a general nature to what everybody has an interest in. I say everybody, and let me say everybody on their spiritual path would have an interest in. And today's question is, let me go ahead and read it in a minute, because I think this is something we all experience. It's about spiritual disconnects. But we also get a message from one of my books. It's the Master's Book of Answer by Phillip. And this is just an oracle book. You just open it up and find your answer. And we get a message from that. I want to also tell you a couple of other things that I have going on. Once a month, I am doing a sacred circle by Zoom. And in our sacred circle, it's a story. Then we do a meditation for planetary and personal healing. And then anyone who wants a message in the audience gets a message. Now, I keep the audience low because I want to be able, it's a Zoom, and it's not like speaking in an audience of 100 or 200 or so. So if it gets to be too large, I will split it and do it a couple of times a month. But right now, we're keeping to 15 or so people on Zoom, and we come together on Friday evening, usually the third month, but not every. But you can find all that information out on my website. You also, if you like, you can sign up for my newsletter. It's free. Just, again, go to the website, and right on the front page, just scroll down and you'll see where it says newsletter, and you could go sign up. And also, I have a blog out there with lots of articles. Those are free as well. Articles to help you make your life better. And hopefully you all want to buy my books. They are listed on the website as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. And here's our question for this week. We often go through periods during which our connection to spirit feels difficult or even non-existent. Thoughts are scattered, meditations ineffective, messages not received. Is this something over which we humans can exert some control or improve? Or is there a higher reason for our apparent disconnection? And our best approach is to simply accept it and patiently waiting for things to improve. Hello, my beautiful sister. Two of you, good. Well, Anikila. And again, I'm so sorry that I'm not sure I say your name correctly. Please forgive me. She says, hi, Diana and Phillip. Happy Friday, and gives us hearts and hugs and smiles and flowers. Thank you. And Lexi Luna says, hi, Diana. So good to see you today. Sending blessings and love to you and all who are watching. And she sends hearts and prayers and says, stay safe. Thank you both. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you. Okay, so what happens when we have that spiritual disconnect? What in the heck is going on? Well, here's what Phillip tells us. Pay attention to the way he starts out and the way he ends, because it shifts, but they're similar. He starts out with, oh, dear child, you are never disconnected from spirit. This you know, you are spirit. When you feel disconnected, you are disconnected from self, yourself. This is a time to love yourself more. It is a time your spirit self is trying to give you information, but it is information you do not want to hear. Although the information may be helpful in your healing old wounds, it may be difficult to learn or to visit, so you busy your mind and your human existence to keep you from the information. This information comes to you because you are ready to heal the wound caused by the experience of which the information is about. Put aside the fear, and your connection to the higher self increases. When you strengthen the connection with your own higher inner spiritual self, you open the gateway. I apologize. I moved my chair and I mean not to do that. It squeaks. So I apologize. At the beginning of that paragraph, it's when I squeak it. So let me read that again. When you strengthen the connection with your own higher inner spiritual self, you open the gateway to connect with your teachers, healers, protectors, guardians, and of course, your spirit guide. Now that we know why you want to connect and why you don't, we will speak of what to do to connect in those difficult times when there is more disconnection than connection. We remind you that you are never disconnected from spirit. It only seems so. It is impossible to be disconnected from what you are, and you are spirit having a human experience. When the human brain becomes overly busy and distracted by your humanness, you may find the quiet mind difficult to experience. This is when a mantra, rather than a concentration on the breath, may be helpful. This is a time to look deeper. Writing or drawing the jumble of thoughts may be helpful. What must be done is to allow the mind to relax enough to clear the way for the fear to present itself so it can be cleared. This, of course, requires you to be willing to work with the fear that jumbles the mind. In the human experience, there will be times this is not possible. When these times comes, it is due to the human not being ready to look at that which is behind the unrest. This is the time then to not be concerned. Perhaps a bit of physical activity or the time in nature will bring on relaxation and allow you to know you are always held and supported by those of us here in spirit world. We give you love and add to your strength to allow that which you perceive as fear to become love. For that, dear one, is what you are, love. So Phillip starts out with dear child and ends up with dear one. And he reminds us that there are perhaps a bit of physical activity or time in nature will bring on relaxation and allow you to know you're always held and supported by those of us here in spirit world. We give you love and add to your strength to allow that which you perceive as fear to become love. For that, dear one, is what you are, love. I do have some other videos out there, as you know, and one that comes to mind because sometimes we don't know what we're struggling with. We don't know the question. And so if we don't know the question, how can we find the answer? One of the things you can do is one of my videos, it's the glass of jar or glass of water trick. And you take a glass of water and before you go to bed, you have this on your nightstand. And before you go to bed, you ask the question. And the question may be, what do I need to know? What am I doing? What is holding me back? What is it I need to look at? And however you want to phrase the question. Just one question, but you can edit it. And then you drink half of the glass of water before you go to bed. And you tell yourself, when I wake in the morning, I will drink the other half a glass of water. And as I drink the other half a glass of water, the answer will come. The video, you can go find it. I think it's called the glass of water trick or something like that. Gets into it a little bit more, but I won't take your time to do that now. But that is one thing. If you don't know the question, ask yourself what the question is. You can also, as Phillip suggested, journal to say, what question should I be asking? What is it I'm not looking at? What is it that is holding me back? You might find that you're going through a transformation. And as we go through those transformations, we get into it's been called the dark night of the soul. I think that was Teresa of Avalon, I think, came up with the dark night of the soul, but I could be wrong on that. I call it the Irish mist. And the reason I call it the Irish mist is because in Ireland, everybody there is used to mist, is used to the fog. And so I always think of it, I'm wandering in my woods and I'm kind of lost and I'm in this heavy fog or this Irish mist. And then eventually I will see the porch light. I'll see this light way down there. And if I follow that light, I will eventually get to the answer. And the answer may be, what is the question I should be asking? So, my friends, we all go through these periods of disconnect from our spiritual self where meditation doesn't seem to work, or none of the things we're used to doing. And it's amazing. Sometimes we get there, we aren't even aware of it until it becomes stronger, shall I say. And then we start realizing, wow, I haven't been in my spiritual self for a while now. And that's just gives us a chance to move into a higher level. Let's get a message from Spirit, or from Phillip, shall we? So we just flip through here and open. You saw I just opened to any page. I'm hearing right. And if you heard right, our intuition's in sync. If you heard left, excuse me, I started to say if you hear, and I came out hear and heard mix. So if you heard left, that's a message you need to pay attention to. And I always read both sides, you know that. Here's our right message, the message on the right side. Dissatisfaction with another's attitude can teach you about that which is within you. Dissatisfaction with another's attitude can teach you about that which is within you. Oh, that's perfect, because I also wanted to tell you to find out like what the question is. What is it I should be looking at? What is it I'm trying to learn? Why do I have this disconnect? If we look at what's going on in our own lives and what's happening with our emotions, our experiences with people around us, what are they triggering? That will also give us a big clue as to what it is we need to heal and look at. And I remind you, as we heal our wounds, we heal the world. And that is how we heal the world. I want to also tell you, and my book, The Found Child, goes into this. I don't have a copy, and it's over there, and I won't take time to reach it. But The Found Child gets into how, and it's a fiction book, by the way, but it kind of like, is this fiction or is this true? You never know. Not with me anyway, right? So what the book goes into, though, is we all have a team. We all have a team. And I've done this in workshops, so I will do this probably maybe in the May Sacred Circle on Zoom. So we all have a team, and in meditation, we can go find this team. We have, certainly our spirit guides are there, but we have the healers, we have the teachers. We in spirit world, we ourselves, we put that team together. And now it has to have approval of the higher spirits that are helping us, but we put that team together. And we're the ones who put our hands up and said, hey, I'm the one who wants to go into human life. And so you might be hearing Lily, my Siamese. She's playing with one of her toys, and she's being very vocal about it. So if you hear that in the background, that's Lily having fun. She's telling the little stuffed mouse what to do. But we've brought together this team, my friends, and so we are the leader. We are like the orchestra leader of that team, and so that team is there to help us. And so all we have to do is ask. It's really that simple. Well, we also have to listen. That's the hard part. So I remind you, dissatisfaction with another's attitude can teach you about that which is within you. You know, I recently had an experience where I felt I was hurt. And that hurt was because of my abandonment script. And I felt left out. I felt abandoned but I didn't see it. It took a friend to mention that to me. I would feel abandoned if somebody did that to me, and it was like light bulb moment. Oh, thank you. So our answers come from so many different ways. All we have to do is ask the question and then listen for the answer. If you said left or thought left, here's your message. If you can see the darkness, you can also see the light. If you can see the darkness, you can also see the light. Well, my friends, I love you. Thank you for coming, Lexi and Annika and Killa. I'm not sure. Help me out there. Thank you. I love you all, and I am going to learn how to pronounce your name correctly. Until we meet again, thank you for coming. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for supporting me. It means a lot. I can't do this without your support. I appreciate you. So thank you for loving us. We receive that love. And thank you for receiving the love we send out to you, my friend. Until we meet again, I love you.